Okay. Um, all right. I am on a strictly anti-content consumption diet right now. And the reason being is because I feel like I have lost my ability to think for myself. For the past couple of weeks, ever since I've been back home from Cape Town, South Africa, where I hosted one of the most incredible, if not the most incredible thing that I've ever done in my life, up until now, right? Many more incredible things to come. I've been back home. I've been living with my parents. I've been sleeping in not my childhood bedroom, but a bedroom of my teenage years. And oh my goodness, man, it's just like made me go right back into the person that I used to be. Procrastinating, spending way too much time doing things that I shouldn't be doing, doom scrolling, and above everything else, consuming content. And um, it's almost kind of taken away my ability to think for myself and to come up with my own rules and to come up with my own principles and to live life on my own terms. Um, of the content that I have consumed, though, some of it has been a little bit helpful. The first is this principle of prescriptions from a gentleman named something Gupta. He was on an interview with Naval Ravikant, and he mentioned how so many of us, when we are looking for some sort of fix or some sort of how to, right? What we end up doing is we, pedestalize that thing, and we pretty much idolize it and we follow it to a T. And when we don't get results using that one thing, we pretty much lose all sort of self agency, our own ability to think for ourselves, our own ability to actually come up with an organic way to get to XYZ solution. And I was noticing that that was happening a lot for myself in regards to business, in regards to fitness, in regards to just everything, man. Like, I was getting super frustrated because I was like, dude, why am I in the same position that I've been in before, where I'm not making as much money as I know I should be making, or even the money that I know I should be making? And I have so many of my friends that are doing so well, and like things are working out for everybody, right? It's like the gun was fired off for the race, and it's like everybody started running and I was like jogging. I was like, all right, cool, eventually I'm gonna catch up. And then like I just never caught up. And I was realizing, I was like, well, dude, the reason why is because our life is like super cyclical. Like, we start off being super inspired by something, right? We take bold action. After we take bold action, it either kind of veers off into one of two things. It's like either things really work out, where things work out, you take the action, you keep going, you keep flowing, and then the next step takes the next step, but then eventually you hit a dead end and then you give up. Or you take that bold action, right? And then after you take the bold action, you're just like in this phase where things aren't working out, and then you start hearing whispers and whispers and whispers, and then eventually you drop it, right? And as somebody who consistently has great ideas, right, it's very easy for me to drop things. It's very easy for me to be non-committal to things. And a very important woman in my life, she told me, she was like, look, like, I don't want you to be non-committal, especially towards something that is a very big thing that you've been wanting to do for a while. She was talking about this project that I ran in South Africa, which was the biggest project of my life, and I haven't been working on it recently because I've been focused on other things. Um, but I digress. So I'm stopping this massive consumption of content because I need to regain my own agency, my ability to think and create paths for myself, to walk my own shoes, and to not be so fixated on what everybody else around me is doing. Because that was like the very big thing, was like I would open my phone and I would be instantly transported into this comparison trap. Of like, oh my God, David's got this, and Jerry's got this, and Alex got this, and fucking hell, dude, like he was with me when we were doing like 5K a month, and now he's at 100. It's like, fuck, dude, it's like, fuck. But like, yeah, it seems like fuck, because you're comparing yourself to somebody who is just totally different than you, whose brain works different, whose life is different, whose people they know are different, whose circumstances are different. Not to take away from anything that they've done, but it's like you've totally lost your own agency, Yusuf, because you're comparing your own ability to live your life like somebody else's who's totally different. So, yeah. So I've really stopped this like content consumption diet that I've been on, right? and I started to kind of look at myself from a very objective lens of like, okay, things in your life are not happening the way that you want them to happen. Beautiful. Like, let's look at why things aren't happening the way that you want them to happen, right? Well, first and foremost, let's look at you, the person who's living your life, right? Well, okay, tell me a little bit about that. Well, dude, I'm not maintaining my word. I'm inconsistent with my habits, right? My days kind of feel like they fly by, right? And to make matters worse, I'm consuming so much about what other people are doing. Well, it's like, oh, okay, now that makes fucking sense why it is that you're not exactly where you want to be, dude. It's because you're not living your life. Your life is living you. You know? So it was just like a very eye-opening moment. I was like, all right, how do I take things back? How do I take things back? Right? Where do I start from? And then the first thing that came to my mind was like, dude, I need to really keep my word. Like, if I say I'm going to do something, I have to do it. I have to do it. Right? I have to. Like, there was a dude who I worked with like 9 months ago, maybe 10 months ago. No, actually a year ago, right? And I owed him $250 for work, but like he was really slow to send me the invoice. So I literally, like, from the depths of my intuition, it came up that, dude, I told this guy I was going to fucking pay him. So I literally went back to our messages from a year ago, found some way to contact him, ended up finding the invoice, and I paid it. I was like, okay, cool. I told my friend that I was going to send him 2 shirts, right? I went to the post office today, and it cost $50 to send over 2 fucking shirts, more than the price of the shirts. It's like, I don't give a fuck. I need to maintain my word. There's 3 people that I promised that I would get them books. Like, I would gift them books, and I didn't give them the books. Okay, go on Amazon, buy the books, and send them to where they live, right? It's like, that's the first thing. It's like, maintain your word, Yusuf. Like, there's no more of this, like, you say you're going to do something, even though you have good intentions, but you don't follow through with it. I can't do that anymore, because if I keep doing that, then my word becomes worthless. And if it becomes worthless, then what's the value of anything that I say? What's the value of the metric of change? There is no value, because the individual who is doing it, who is going to enact the actions, doesn't see actual merit in it. So that's that. And then the second thing is like genuinely adopting like free thinking. Like, think for yourself. You are a genius. Like, you are incredibly aware, right? An individual who can see the things that you've seen, an individual who has lived the experiences that you've lived, has so much to contribute, has so much knowledge and wisdom, but you're just not stepping into it because you're either comparing yourself to other people, or because you are so fixated on what other people are doing, or because you just don't have any self-respect to maintain your own word, right? You're so busy trying to live life in a perfect way, right? Where you're always good, where like you just can't seem to adapt or adopt your own style of living life. So that's one thing I've been doing recently. It's just like actually thinking for myself. And it sounds so bizarre to say. It's like, dude, I've been thinking for myself. It's like, what have you been doing for the past 25 years? if that's what you started to do today. And yeah, it's been quite nice actually. There have been a couple of like things that my intuition has been like presenting to me, like almost like seeds that sprout through the concrete, right? Because my mind has almost become this calcified area where it's like I have to like always live the way that I've always lived, and I have to maintain this perception that other people have always had of me. But it's like, no, not really. No, like you can turn the corner or you can open a new door and you can just become a different person. That's kind of like what I'm doing right now, to be quite frank. Or I'm not being a different person, but rather being the individual that I've always known that I can be. So yeah, that's that. Just like developing this like muscle of like thinking for yourself. And it's actually interesting. I was reading this book, or listening to one, called Outwitting the Devil, and by Napoleon Hill. And honestly, this is like a totally separate video, but fuck self-development. Just respectfully fuck self-development. Because it's just like this random, it's just this hamster wheel of like egoic fucking spin on the wheel and like, you know, self masturbate to like all these fucking concepts of like things that you should do, but it's like live life on your own terms, right? And if concepts correlate from self-development, if concepts correlate from, you know, people that you respect, that's even more confluence that things are, you know, things like maybe those are things that you should follow. I digress. However, in the context of this book, Outwitting the Devil, right, there's a conversation that is being had between the narrator and the devil, and the devil mentions that the way that he gets people to essentially, you know, fall under his trap is that he gets them to drift. And a drifter is an individual who doesn't think for themselves. There's a person who's just constantly adapting what the world tells them, right? They live by circumstance. They don't live by their own personal empowerment, by their own, you know, desire, by their own values. And I was realizing, I was like, dude, the areas of my life, the times of my life where I have been the most courageous and I literally just ignored the rules of reality, things were just insane. Like, I cannot even describe to you how incredible things were. Like, in the context of the Thinking Cap event that I hosted in South Africa, I literally flew to South Africa, and in 18 days, I put on an event where 42 founders and entrepreneurs got together, right, to pretty much pitch, collaborate, compete. It was like Shark Tank meets a networking event, meets a hackathon, yeah, meets a pitching competition. It was insane. And when I got to South Africa, I didn't know a single person. 6 days before the event, I only had 10 or 12 tickets sold. 24 hours after that day, all 42 tickets were sold. It's like, how do things like that happen? Oh, it's because you're tapping into a higher power. You're tapping into a higher frequency. Like, you're not just only thinking about every single scenario and step that needs to be taken. It's not like that. You're living vicariously through heart-led action. And it's like, those moments, they live somewhere in my mind, but then there's these other moments, or the majority of the moments that I'm living in right now, where it's just like, I have to like nitpick and like live with this fear of poverty and this fear of like, oh, if I do this, then like my credit card debt goes up, or if I don't do this, then like I won't. It's like, fuck that, dude. What are you doing? What are you doing, bro? There's just a beetle that just flew away. That's awesome. It's like, what are you doing? Like, it's like you witnessed magic and then you went back to disbelieving in it. It's like, come on. It's like, bro, what are you doing, bro? That's insane to even consider that. So yeah, I'm making this video because like, I'm like, first and foremost, I'm very anti-consumption right now. So like, I'm very strict with what it is that I'm consuming. That's number one. But then number two, I want to share from a position of indifference. Whether you watch this video up until now or not, it does not matter to me. However, what I would love for you to take away from this video is reclaim your self-agency. Think for yourself again, right? Think for yourself again. And become aware of the way that you're living your life. Because this awareness that you have in regards to how it is that you're living your life is a direct influence for the life that you are living. And for myself right now, I'm definitely not where I should be in regards to my standards. I am where I should be in terms of what God has ordained for me, and I believe that. However, I am where I am right now so that I can learn these lessons, so that I may move on and solve a bigger problem that is further down the line. And this video series is the first of that. When I give my word, I give my word. Consistency is now a part of this content creation journey that I'm on. I've started and stopped for 7 years. I've convinced myself for 7 years that certain things can't be done until I went to South Africa and I fucking did it. And now I'm convincing myself that it's possible for me to have whatever the fuck I want. And that means clearing my debt of $66,000. That means saving up enough money to move out of my parents' home once and for all. I love you, mom and dad. However, I'm an adult. And then lastly, going full-time on working on the Thinking Cap, which is a project that I'll talk to you guys more about. Pay attention to the things in your life that where you put in 1, you get 10 back. And like, and recognize that school is always in session, that class is always in session, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Thank you for being here. Subscribe and like and all that jazz. Peace.